for planning. I believe all members are here present. At this point, I'd like to, do we get a copy of the minutes, Mr. Clerk? Okay. Thank you. What we'll do is, this afternoon we have a number of items that are up for a public hearing. The first of which, I have my book in front of me. A number of items that are up for a public hearing. I will let everyone know the process that we take here in Akron City Council. We're conducting a hearing here at 1:30. At that time, what we'll do is we will ask those who are present here if they would like to speak in favor of the proposed conditional use. And then we'll ask for those that wish to speak against the proposed conditional use. Obviously, if anyone has questions or just comments, they're welcome to speak as well. Those that are going to speak this afternoon to Akron City Council, we ask that you be sworn in by a representative from our law department. And also, it's important to note that we invite you back this evening at 7 o'clock. Will be another public hearing. We'll basically repeat that process at 7 o'clock. However, the difference is that at 7 o'clock, the committee will then vote on a recommendation to all of City Council in reference to the proposed conditional use request that's before it. And so that's the process. At this time, I'd like to ask if there's a representative from our law department that can please swear in those that wish to speak to the committee and to council this afternoon. Thank you. Okay, very good. The first item that is up for a public hearing, ordinance authorizing conditional use to establish a mental health rehabilitation center at 1009 Copley Road.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members. Dorothy Johnson and Bernadine Swain, doing business as START, S-T-A-R-T, are requesting permission to establish a mental health rehab center at this location. Petitioners are proposing to use the vacant two-story colonial dwelling for classrooms and training rooms. Services offered for an average of 16 clients would include life skills, employment readiness, basic computer training, wellness and recovery services, and music and art therapy classes. There would be approximately 2 to 4 volunteer staff members, including a licensed social worker. It's anticipated the building will be open from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The property contains an attached 2-car garage along Peerless Avenue. No changes to the exterior of the building is planned, and there would be no signage. It's anticipated that the majority of the clients will either walk to the site or utilize public or private transportation. Such amount of off-street parking would be sufficient. Proposed use as a mental health rehab center will repurpose this vacant residence on this main arterial street by offering much-needed services to area residents. Both Planning Commission and Planning staff recommend approval subject to conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Antonucci. I'll now open up the public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak in favor of the conditional use at 1009 Copley Road? Anyone here wishing to speak in favor? Please feel free to come forward, and if you could please provide for us your name and address.
Good afternoon. My name is Dorothy Johnson, and I live at 1049 Cordova Avenue, Akron, Ohio, 44320. And I am the director of the program START, which stands for Social Therapeutic Advocacy Recovery Training. And that says what we'll be doing there, what we propose to do is offer a service for the clients to come, somewhere for them to go, and some arts and crafts, computer skills, different things. We also would talk about safety, just different things that they need to know in the community, some job readiness we'll be preparing for them to do. We have a computer room. We have quite a bit of things for them to do. I'm also an adult care provider, and I have been since 2002. So I am well aware of the needs that they have as far as activities and places to go and something to do. So I am a very big advocate of this. I see it every day, all day, and it is so needed, so needed. I hear them say, oh, I don't have anything to do, I don't have anywhere to go. And I just want to reach out and offer this program to the community. Again, I feel that it's well needed. I also have some pictures and flyers and things, if you want to pass them out to them where they could see a little bit of what we're about. And I would like to have an open invitation for everyone here to please stop by so that you can see what we are about.
Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you do. Thank you. Here's the handouts. Is there anyone else here wishing to speak in favor of the conditional use request at 1009 Copley Road?
Yes. My name is Fred Slack, and I'm going to be the program director there. I currently hold a LSW, a master's degree in human service, and an associate's degree in community development, and so forth. Well, what we're trying to do is serve the community with some positive services that'll help uplift their life and empower them. There seems to be a marginalized portion of our society that have been neglected and kind of just cast off, and we want to help them. You know, the community needs some positive businesses in there, and this will be one that could help them. I know that a lot of people may think that, well, Copley Road, what negatively about it, but we have some positiveness going there. We have a daycare that's proposing to open up there. We have the school across the street there. We have a mental health center up the street there. We want to be a part of this positive effort that's going on Copley Road. Most of our clients are already in adult care facilities, and they'll be able to be brought there by their providers, so we won't necessarily have to have any parking per se. A lot of our clients are already disenfranchised. They need to feel needed and wanted, and that's what we want to provide. We invite you all to come and take a look at our place and see what we have to offer, and give us a chance to be of service to this population, as you guys are going to be of service for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here wishing to speak in favor of the conditional use request at 1009 Copley Road? Anyone else here wishing to speak in favor? Anyone in favor? Anyone wishing to speak against? Anyone here wishing to speak against this proposal at 1009 Copley Road? Anyone against? Hearing none. We'll now open it up to questions from the committee. Are there any questions from any committee members reference this proposal? Any comments or questions? Ms. Mobian.
I don't have any questions per se. I did have the pleasure of going to the open house when it was held several months ago, and as a person who worked in mental health, I know exactly what Mrs. Johnson is referencing in terms of the needs of the clients, and based on what I saw, it was a very nice facility and very clean and organized. I am not really sure all of what she's planning to do in terms of staffing, but what I saw I was impressed with, particularly if you're trying to provide a safe, wholesome place for clients to visit and participate in activities. And it's a nice location, and again, the facility was very nice, clean, nice, colorful. So I certainly support the efforts that she's making to offer another resource to clients that are in need.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Mr. Neal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to chime in. I've had a chance to visit the facility a few months back, and I appreciate them wanting to invest in the neighborhood. They've come out, they've spoken to at a ward meeting to inform the residents in the area. Good. And have committed to be a part of building that neighborhood there, even doing some creative things to help us outside of their general scope. And by that I mean we have a lot of seniors who don't get a chance to get out there. They've offered to open their facility up to use it as sort of like a opportunity to host events specifically for seniors in the area too. So I just want to pledge my support and say thank you.
Very good, thank you. Any further questions or comments at this time? Very good, hearing none, we'll now move on to item number 2, ordinance authorizing a conditional use to vary the side yard setback to construct a garage addition at 769 Cordova.
Thank you, Mr. Fusco, members of the commission. John McClendon is seeking permission to construct a 2-story attached garage addition along the north side of the dwelling to within 5 feet of the side north property line. The proposed 2-story addition would measure 20 feet in width by 24 feet in length, connecting the north side of the dwelling. 16 by 7-foot garage door would be placed on the front elevation of the structure with a man door set along the north elevation. The second story of the garage would be connected to the house and used for an additional bedroom with windows on the northern and western elevation. The proposed addition of the house is a logical solution to provide additional living space for the petitioners as well as sheltered parking for their vehicles. The proposed addition would add value to this well-maintained property, would not have any adverse effect on surrounding uses. Both Planning Commission and Planning staff recommend approval, subject to the condition.
Thank you, Mr. Antonucci, for your eloquent display of this particular conditional use request. Is there anyone here wishing to speak in favor of the conditional use request at 769 Cordova? Anyone here wishing to speak in favor? Anyone in favor of 769 Cordova? Okay. Is there anyone here wishing to speak against this conditional use request for a proposed garage addition at 769 Cordova? Anyone wishing to speak against? Anyone? Okay. Hearing none. Is there any questions from any of the committee members or council members at this time? Okay, very good. Hearing none, we'll now move on to item number 3, resolution adopting the 2018 Capital Investment and Community Development Program, legally referred to as the Capital Investment Budget.
Good afternoon, committee chair and committee members. Helen Tomick with Akron Planning Department. The city administration annually prepares a capital investment and community development program for city council consideration. The capital investment program specifies the types, locations, costs, and general description of capital investments that are planned for the upcoming 2018 year. The capital investment program includes street and sidewalk improvements, improvements to parks, improvements to public facilities, the purchases of vehicles for police, fire, public services. We're also planning on purchasing a ladder truck in 2018 in addition to begin the construction of Fire Station number 2. The budget also includes debt service on previously financed capital projects and water and sewer system upgrades. The objectives of the budget are to construct or rehabilitate facilities vital to Akron residents, to reduce long-term operating costs, to encourage private investments within the city of Akron, leveraging federal, state, and private funds, and then also providing capital improvements to support the long-term growth of the city of Akron. The proposed capital budget includes a total of $329 million. Of this, $108 million is from local funds, $8.7 million from regional resources, $178 million from the state of Ohio, and $28 million from the federal government. Planning staff will conduct a detailed review of the budget this afternoon at 4 o'clock here in council chambers. The budget review will focus on transportation, parks and recreation, public facilities, housing, community development services, economic development, and miscellaneous services. And then next Monday at 4 o'clock, we will hold an additional session to cover our water and capital needs. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Ms. Tomick. Thank you. At this time, we'll open up the public hearing. If there's any comments from anyone from the community that would like to comment on the 2018 Capital Investment and Community Development program. Please feel free to step forward. Anyone here wishing to speak in favor? Anyone in favor? Anyone wishing to speak against the 2018 Capital Investment Program? Anyone wishing to speak against? Anyone? Okay, very good. I'll now open it up to any council members or committee members. Any questions or comments? We will, just to mention what Ms. Tomic had said, we will be jumping deeper into this capital budget at 4 o'clock today, as well as next Monday at 4 o'clock. So we'll have two in-depth sessions, both of which will be in these chambers at 4 o'clock this Monday and the following Monday. So that's about it. Thank you. Ms. Mobian.
Just a quick question, and maybe we'll talk about this later. Now, this represents the 27% that we are required by charter to set aside for the capital improvements. The listing of the new dollars, that's on top of that?
It includes 27% of the income tax in addition to the other items that we've managed to secure, grants from the federal government, grants from the state, regional resources, and then I think there's some private funds in there as well.
And the list of things from the new dollars is on top of that?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Very good. Any further questions or comments? Okay, short of that, we'll see you at 4 o'clock, Ms. Tomic. Therefore, we're going to recommend time on the balance of the regular agenda, short of any concerns or questions. We will now move into the new list of legislation, of which item number 3 under new legislation, resolution approving the renewal application of George and Julia Reese to have agricultural property on Cortlandt Avenue to be included in an agricultural district pursuant to revised code 929. Mr. Antonucci.
Recommend refer and advertise for public hearing.
Very good. Is there a recommendation to refer this item? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Thank you. 4 is a resolution approving the renewal application of Bessemer Farms Limited, Bessemer Farms Limited 2, and Anna J. Bessemer Trust to have agricultural property on St. Michael's, Cortlandt, Nye Street to be included in an agricultural district pursuant to revised code 929.
We refer and advertise for public hearing February 5th.
Is there a recommendation to refer?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. 5, resolution approving the renewal application of Donald E. and Carol Bessemer to have agricultural property on Michaels Avenue to be included in an agricultural district pursuant to revised code 929.
Recommend refer and advertise public hearing February 5th.
Recommendation to refer?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. 6, resolution declaring the necessity and intent of the city to appropriate fee simple interest in real property owned by Tamara Pasley, formerly known as Tamara Gaffney, located at 339 Chittenden Street for purposes of constructing, maintaining, repairing, enlarging, reconstructing a sewer or sewers and water lines for drainage, sewerage, waterline purposes in connection with CSO RAC 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members. Yes, this would be the first step in the appropriation. We would ask for consent agenda.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there questions or comments? Very good. Consent agenda, okay, sir?
Yes.
Very good. Is there a recommendation for consent agenda?
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. 7, ordinance approving the sale of vacant city-owned properties to pursuant to the city's A Lot for a Little program in order to facilitate the productive reuse of property and reducing the cost to the city and the taxpayers in maintaining vacant lots.
This would be a couple lot sales. 2 will be used as side yard. 1 will be used as a community garden. It'd be at our standard rate.
Okay, very good. Thank you, sir. Questions or comments? Consent agenda, okay, sir?
That'd be fine.
All right, very good. Is there a recommendation for consent?
So moved. Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you.
8, thank you, sir. 8 is a resolution approving and confirming the appointments of Mayor Dan Horrigan, John Moore, Thomas Tatum, Helen Tomic, Councilwoman Veronica Sims, and Tara Mosley Samples, and Councilman Bob Hoke for the year of 2018 as members of the Northeast Ohio Four-County Regional Planning and Development Organization, with alternates Sam DeShajar, Jim Ashley, Michelle DeFior, Brent Hendren, and declaring an emergency.
This is our resolution for our yearly NEFCO appointments. This is done every year for this NEFCO body.
Very good, sir. Thank you. Is there questions or comments? Consent okay?
Consent's fine.
Motion for consent?
All those in favor of consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes do have it. 9, ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a lease agreement with the Akron Community Services Center and Urban League Incorporated, or its designee, the Akron Urban League, for land near Rhodes and Berry Avenues in order to facilitate the development of an urban farm, finding such property is not needed for any public use, and related findings. Yes, sir, Mr. Becker.
Members of the committee, Mr. Chairman, this is a agreement for lease of the property in order to do the urban farm. It is right on the corner, right actually in front of the Urban League, and they've already done some grading there to flatten out the site. Used to be a retaining pond, put some drainage in so it does work without it having that pond in there for the farming issue that wants to go there.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Beckert. I also understand Ms. Winlock is here from the Akron Urban League.
Yes, thank you, and good afternoon. As a lot of you know, we started a STEAM program last year, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math for 3rd through 5th graders. We received funding from United Way to expand that to 6th through 8th grade. And the goal of that group is to create a Junior Leaguers Math and Science Club. So they will be focused on learning how to plant, grow, and sell vegetables in the community. And so that's what the property would be used for. We've already gotten a verbal approval for funding through USDA. Metis Construction Company will build the boxes, and the Rotary Club is also providing funding. We presented this to the mayor's office late last October, and we were told that the land was leased to Akron Public Schools, and we had to go get a sublease from them. So we did that, and then we found out from USDA we needed a lease from the city. And so we're up against a time crunch. In order to be able to get the funds this year, we have to have a signed lease by January 25th, which is 3 days from today.
Very good. Thank you so much. It sounds like
and I have some pictures of what it
good.
would
Thank
look
you.
like.
Thank you. Sounds like a very good program. Is there any questions or comments? It also I'll remind the committee that it sounds as if time is of the essence. So is there any questions or comments?
Mr. Fusco.
Yes. Hold that. President Somerville?
Thank you so much. Mr. Chair, I just wanted to express my support for the program and then just hope that we can be able to suspend the rules to make sure we meet the deadline for Mrs. Winlock.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there there's a motion on the floor from Representative Mobian to suspend the rules of the favorable report. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of suspension of the rules of the favorable report signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? The ayes have it. Very good. Anything else to come before the committee? Short of that, we'll see everyone at 4 o'clock. Thank you.